The discourse of aid is a very powerful narrative. It's convinced us all that rich countries have nothing to do with the impoverishment of poor countries, that we're basically in a position of benevolence, reaching out generously across the divide to give of our surplus.
You turn that on its head.
When in fact the opposite is true.
Right.
And this is not an ideological perspective. This is rooted in data that's very clear, and I trace this data up until even the most recent figures we have last year, showing this reverse flow of wealth around the world. So I think that's a really important antidote to the dominant narrative of charity and aid and development that we're served in the media.
What's been the reaction to that work that you've done, that research? What has the broad reaction been? Because it is thinking very differently.
Yeah, I think that actually people have been excited about it, in fact. We see kind of a shift in people's consciousness since 2008 with the financial crisis. People realize that that poverty and inequality in their own countries are not a natural phenomenon. They're being generated by policies introduced by bankers, politicians, et cetera. And so they're looking for the political determinants of their suffering, right? And so when people hear that, that the same thing applies to the global stage, that global poverty in poor countries is a direct consequence of intentional policies, then that's not surprising to them anymore, right? There really is kind of an awakening to the fact that this is the case. I mostly interact with students, right, at the LSE where I teach, and giving talks around. And I feel that this message really does resonate, and even among people who you might not normally expect that kind of response from them. So I'm very hopeful about that. I think that there's a lot of passion in our communities, in our country, for trying to make the world a better place. That passion right now and the money that is behind it is misguided. It's all being devoted and channeled into charity, which is not solving the problems. That is patently true. So it's time for us to start addressing the deeper structural causes of the problems that we care so much about. And once we do that, then it's going to change the game.